Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of SMG Fishing. Today we're working on this. Right here. Looks pretty good, don't it? Alright, so basically what I did is I just took this 1-inch piece of aluminum tubing and I went from here to this side and I basically just put 4 rivets in each side. And then I took this pedestal seat and I took and drew 6 holes once I had both these straightened out and I put it in there. And so that thing is not going anywhere right now, and I think it turned out pretty daggone good. So I have a couple thoughts for this boat now. I have obviously the recessed foot pedal for my trolling motor we talked about last video. I'm definitely going to get that put in. I'm not sure if I need to reinforce it like I just did the seat. Maybe I'll just use some angled aluminum. Maybe I'll just use the plywood that's on the deck. It's probably going to be sturdy enough to just hold that. It's just a tray that holds the foot pedal mount. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go find a printout for one of those things that I'm going to put in there, and Alright, let me just kind of explain to you what I've got going on here for a second. Like I said earlier, I was going to go and find the dimensions of one that was online, and I was just going to order it. Well, I found one at Bass Pro Shops and they actually had one in stock at the one near me. So I hopped in my truck and I'm on my way. And I'm thinking the entire time, this is just a box to hold the pedal. This is a luxury item. This isn't going to be anything that I absolutely need. And I kept thinking that because the price of this recessed tray that you can buy, albeit it's built very nicely and it's got really good build quality and stuff, it's $150. $150 for a box. It literally just drops your foot pedal 4 inches. So I made a U-turn and I found a Lowe's and I was walking around just trying to figure out what I could do. I was thinking about maybe just getting like one of those Rubbermaid or bins or whatever little totes that you can put stuff in, and I was just gonna reinforce it with some aluminum angle, that way it would be pretty sturdy. Well, I didn't really want plastic because I knew I could probably find an aluminum sheet somewhere and I could probably end up bending it. But then I was walking over towards the aluminum sheeting and I found, you know those mailboxes that if you have like an older house or a townhouse, it's up on the front porch and it's mounted to the wall? I'll throw up a picture right here. Well, I found one that was the exact dimension. If I had taken that mailbox and laid it down flat, it was the exact dimension if I'd taken the top off as the recessed foot pedal, and they were going for like 30 bucks. Obviously they have different intentions, but it's basically just a box. So why can somebody make something that's $30 with the exact same materials, something that's $150 and still sell it? I don't understand it. Somebody needs to come up with a better product, one that maybe doesn't cost as much to build. I really don't understand why this is so expensive to build, and they need to sell it for like $50 a piece, and you will sell a ton of them. But anyway, what I did was I went and found a 24 by 24 sheet of aluminum at Lowe's, $25 sheet of aluminum, and what I've done is I've taken all the dimensions and everything of the box that I want to create, and I drew it out here. So I'm going to have a box that is 10 inches by 16 inches, and it's going to be a 3-inch deep piece. So I've got, ignore this inside, it's a 16 by 10, and then these are the side walls. These are all 3 inches, and then it's going to have a lip on the top so I can screw it into the deck, which is this 1-inch lip on the outside. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of having a welded box, I don't really care if this leaks. I would say that if you had a better boat, like a fiberglass boat or something that had stuff underneath this deck that needed to stay dry, you could either get a welder to weld this together, or you could probably just do the same thing I'm doing and then just use sealant. I, however, don't care if it leaks down in the bottom of it, because underneath this is the bottom of the boat, and it'll all run down water channels and go out the back of the boat anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. My boat's gonna have a bilge pump, so should yours. I would not recommend not having one, so you should be fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out a way to bend all these. I don't have what they call a metal brake, which will basically take a piece of flat metal and it'll bend it into a perfect 90-degree angle. I'm guessing that when I bend this over, it's probably gonna have a little of a roll to it. It's not gonna be a really good corner. Whatever though. If I can come up with something that's half decent with a $25 piece of metal, then it every day beats $150 spent at Bass Pro Shop. Love Bass Pro Shop, but it's way too expensive to be using for just a tray. It's a metal tray. Why is it $150? End of rant. Let's try to figure this out. So what I'm doing is I'm ruining razor blades. So now that I have a fresh tip in there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this along the edge of this straight piece where I want the aluminum to cut. And I'm going to do that about 50 different times. Be very careful with this. It's pretty sharp. You don't want it to get out of your hands. I would not recommend doing this to a blade that you actually like or that you need to keep, because it will ruin it. Once you've done it enough times, you can start to bend it and you'll feel it flexing. Look at that. you get a perfectly straight piece. This is really good if you don't have anything to cut these with. Usually these are cut on presses that basically have a blade that go down and chomp it off. Puts a lot of force on it so you can get a straight cut on it. But if you don't have one, this is a good way to do that. And then of course I'm just going down on each of these sides and just filing it down just so you don't have any burrs or anything. While you're doing this, you want to be really careful not to bend any of this metal. Because once you start bending it, it gets all funky and then it's really hard to get straight again. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to score this one good time and then I'm going to build it. I don't want to score it too much. I just want to give it a scratch so it'll help it bend a little bit. I don't want it to actually break. Okay, that's it. So basically now what I'm going to do is, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out. I gotta be really careful. That looks like it's about to break. What do you think? I think it might be okay. It might be okay. All right, this time I'm gonna score it, but I'm not gonna do it as much. I think I did it too much there, and I'll be surprised if that doesn't break. See, the problem I'm going to run into is the same problem you would have with a metal brake, or a cheap one anyway, is that once you bend one side, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bend these sides because I don't want to bend this back. I don't know, let's see. I'm actually really impressed right now. I mean, it's not perfectly square, it's not perfectly rounded off. I think I can make it a little bit better, but it's pretty good. It'll get the job done anyway. That's all I'm worried about. All right, so now I'm gonna drill this and put rivets in each of these sides so they hold together. Then I'm gonna scuff it up and then I'm gonna paint it. And then I'm gonna drive to Virginia to go hunting tomorrow. Alright, so the last thing you guys just saw was me painting that trolling motor box. I'm trying to get a good coat of paint on it, but the aluminum is iffy and I don't have any self-etching paint on there, so it's probably not going to turn out great, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be recessed and you're not going to pay attention to it. I might go get some like Plasti Dipper or something and put it on there. I haven't figured it out yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We got that pedestal seat mount put in there. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think I'm going to have to reinforce it any more than I already have. And then we were able to go out and not spend $150, and instead we only spent $25. So that was pretty awesome. So all I did was I just went to Lowe's and I found a 24-inch by 24-inch sheet of aluminum. It wasn't very thick. I think it was like 1/16 inch thick, which is plenty thick enough. I ended up folding it to make a 16 by 10 box. It's 3 inches deep and it's got a 1-inch lip on either side. So I'm just going to bolt that into the top. So I hope that works. If not, we'll just use regular old foot pedal right on top of the deck. We'll just make that hole that I have a hatch and it's not going to be a big deal. I'm not going to pay $150 for just a tray that is going to hold a foot pedal. It's not that big of a deal for me to drop my foot pedal down into the deck. To be honest with you, didn't really mind it before. I was more or less just trying to show you guys another way to do things. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button. Got a couple videos coming out really soon. We're going to put the deck on. After we put the deck on, we're going to start on the back side of the deck. There's going to be a casting deck in the back with a live well and battery well and maybe even a fixed gas tank. I don't know yet. We haven't gotten there. If you like this video, make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't like it, then anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time.